So this morning's word is fire brings out snakes. Fire brings out snakes. And I'm reading out of Acts chapter 28. And I'm going to start in verse 1. When we were safely on shore, we learned that the island was called Malta. This is after Paul was shipwrecked and he ended up on an island. The people who lived there were unusually kind to us. It had started to rain and was cold, so they started a bonfire and invited us to join them around it. Paul gathered a bundle of sticks and put it on the fire. A poisonous snake was forced out by the heat and attached itself to Paul's hand. When the people who lived there saw the snake hanging from his hand, and they told one another, "This man must be a murderer. He may have escaped from the sea, but justice won't let him live." But he shook the snake into the fire and wasn't harmed. They were expecting him to swell up, suddenly drop dead, but after waiting a long time and seeing nothing unusual happen to him, they changed their minds and said he was a god. Okay, let me back up here. And this is a word I believe for many people. They invited him, right? They invited him to join their fire. But when he made the fire bigger, when he added wood to the fire, it caused a snake to come out by the heat. And a lot of times people will have you join their fire, and then when you add to the fire, they can't handle it, and it causes people to manifest because of the fire in your life, and it drives out the snakes. When you're putting wood on the fire, it causes these snakes, these demon manifestations of people. Because I always wonder why some people, some ministers, they inadvertently, they can just be doing like regular stuff and people manifest on them. It's because of the fire. That doesn't happen unless there's fire. And so they were judging on Paul and thinking, man, this guy's getting attacked. It must be something he did. No, it was because of the fire. And so what did he do? He shook the snake off. And that's what a lot of us have to do when people are judging us and criticizing us because of the fire in our life. We got to just shake the snakes off that manifest, that come out of us putting wood on the fire, because that's going to happen. It's happened to me. It happens to a lot of us. People can't, it's not that people can't, it's that the enemy can't handle the fire. It drives him out of that place where he's hidden secretly in people's lives, in churches, or wherever we are. The fire drives out the snakes. Okay? So it says here in verse 6, they were expecting him to swell up or drop dead. But after waiting a long time and seeing nothing unusual happen to him, they changed their minds and said he was a god. So people are going to either think, man, you've done something wrong, or they're going to think, you're the most awesome person in the world. There's like when you're walking in the fire, when you're walking in that revival state, people are either going to love you or hate you. That's the kind of life that Jesus lived. It was either revival or riot. Either people loved him or hated him. There was no middle with Jesus because of the fire in his life. And there's going to be no middle with you because of the fire in your life. And a lot of times the reason a lot of people kind of like back up and back off and go into a lukewarm state is because they can't handle the level of persecution that comes by living in the fire of God. Because it drives out snakes. They want to attach themselves. They want to attack you. And then you have to have an understanding what's causing that. what's causing that is that you're putting more wood on the fire, and it causes the snakes to come out and attack. So be encouraged. Know that this is just a normal thing that will happen as a man and woman of God. And don't stop putting wood on the fire.